Good morning, everyone. We are back again for our second segment, and we are so honored today because we have some wonderful guests for our second show. Again, I'm Dr. Thelma Scott, the founder and host of Save Diversity for Your Information Now Communities. And today I'm here with my legend, as I call her, my legend, host, Dr. Sandra Scott, our history legend, right? And she got a lot to talk about, and she's going to introduce our other guest that's here today, right? Have a wonderful show, you guys, so stay tuned. Dr. Scott, take it away. We got a penthouse. And also, I want to say that I have my other guest here right by me. He's just like a son. So I told him, you just going to stand here and let our other guests talk. You're going to stand here by Dr. Scott because I want to ask him some questions as well, right? Okay. It's two Dr. Scotts, right? Dr. Sandra Scott and Dr. Thelma Scott. And we are known in Austin as Thelma and Louise. When we come to Austin, it's Thelma and Louise. I'm Thelma and it's Louise, right? Because listen, when we go to Austin, we dangerous. We dangerous in Austin. We dangerous doing a session. We dangerous when we go there. Okay, Dr. Scott, take it away.
All right. Well, good morning and welcome to our guest today. We're so glad to have you in the studio with us and on the program.
Right.
And I'm going to let you introduce yourselves. We'll start with our elder, if I might say, elder statesman. And that's a good term. That's a good term, right? That's a good term.
Yes, seniority.
Yes. And of course, I know the Houston community knows the name Jarvis Johnson.
Yes.
But we're going to let him tell us a bit about himself.
Well, let me tell you about my old self. So, I'm Jarvis Johnson.
But your old self. What'd you say, Sarah the elderly?
No, I said our elder, but that was a term of endearment.
Term of endearment, yes, ma'am. I know. I'm just
He the
teasing.
one took it to the other side.
I'm just teasing. We all, and this is all one love.
I'm a proud
one love.
AARP carrying person, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
I am too.
They start giving that out when you're 47.
No, you're not. Are you one right now? You got
you
not yet.
They start handing it out as soon as you hit like 45, 46, they start sending
Yeah, I
you.
got mad when I got mine.
Right.
What you talking about? I'm old, but that was 20 years ago, so go
But
ahead.
now you start realizing all the benefits from
Yes.
it. You
Yes.
say, well, I'm going to start using it. There's good discounts.
That's right. Good discount.
Well, let me thank you, ladies, for allowing me on the show today. It's
Okay.
certainly an opportunity
Yes.
and a blessing to be a part of what you're doing because it's information is power.
Yes.
Yes.
You know, knowledge is power, and certainly our
Always.
community needs it more than anything.
Yeah.
And so,
Yes.
this is why I think shows like this are so very important. And activists like yourself, continue.
We're
to
true
do the work.
activists, and we are. Just want everyone to notice. Listen, we are like any candidate that want to come on and tell what they're going to do for their community. They're welcome to come on our show, right?
Sure.
Let them know what you're going to do. That means a lot to know what you're going to provide for your constituents. That's a lot.
Okay. All right.
All righty.
Well, I am Jarvis Johnson, and since you put it that way, I am running for Congressional District 29. I used to be a city council member for District B, and then went on to become a state rep for District 139. And during that time, was able to bring back over $2.1 billion back to the district for infrastructure, housing, education, and business.
Yeah, wonderful.
We focused on those four things, and then in that, we were able to get quite a bit done. I've never run for office because I wanted to be in office. I ran for office because I wanted to see a change in the community. I got involved in political activity, following my mother around because she used to work for the late Congressman Mickey Leland.
Yeah, your mama is amazing.
Cleo Johnson. She's run a lot of different campaigns, and so just being around her, I was actively engaged, but it never was in my future. I never saw it, because I was around it so much. But when I was running my after-school program called Phoenix Outreach Youth Center, the Houston Rockets had just recently built us a brand new building, and things got kind of political. And there was a rumor that I was going to run for office, and I said, I'm not running for office. I don't know what. And they came in and red tagged my building. I'm in the middle of Frenchtown and Liberty Road, drugs, prostitution, gangs, and everything. And they red tagged my building and they closed it down. So I went to City Hall and kind of laid out who we were, packed the whole building with children and parents and community people. And I kind of got a pat on the head and said, oh, you're doing such a good job. And he shoot us out the door. And I said right then, that's not how people should be treated. You come, there's an issue, you expect your elected officials to at least,
Right.
try to address it. I didn't say solve it, but at least try to address it.
Right.
I don't need a listening ear. I need a doing. I need you to do something. I don't just need you to listen. So that's kind of how I got started in politics. And so from there, I ran for state rep, and now I'm running for Congress because when Republicans combined the 9th and the 18th, they took away representation from our community. And much like they're trying to take away our history, and by the way, happy Black History Month to everybody.
Right. Thank you.
And happy Black Futures Month as well. They're trying to erase our representation.
Right.
And so we know that, this society right now, as you look at some of the people who are trying to take history out of our schools and certainly don't want our children to learn the right history. They just want them to learn a whitewashed history as opposed to what the true history is. And so now they're trying to erase our representation. And so if you erase our representation, we're the voice of the people.
Right.
And so it's so very important. And so when they redrew the lines, there was an opportunity for us to pick this seat back up because the new Congressional District 29 pretty much takes on most of the old 18th Congressional District.
Okay.
Everything north of 610, between 59, 45, and 290 are the boundaries of the district.
Okay.
And this is an opportunity for the demographics are 43% Latino, 35% Black, 17% white.
Right.
And that's pretty much the demographics of the old 18. And so when you look at the demographics of the state of Texas, the three top most populous Black populous areas are in Dallas. They have in District 30, which is 50.1. In Houston is the 18th, which has 50.1, and then the 29th, which has 35% population. So this is an opportunity for us to pick the seat back up. But more importantly, I think it's an opportunity for us to devise a plan. I think the Democrats, especially in our community, have not devised a plan for the future. So if you don't know, it's in business, in anything you do. If you're going to go into business, you're going to be in politics, you're going to be in nonprofit world, you got to have a plan. You got to have goals and objectives. And so I think it's important that we create those same goals and objectives, mission statements to say this is what we are wanting to achieve versus always being reactionary, because I think what we do as Democrats now is just react to whatever the Republicans are doing, and I think that's wrong. And so that's why everybody's saying we want Democrats to fight. Well, we don't know what we're fighting for. We have to start understanding. We can't fight everything, but you got to find out what are your four pillars of your community. And as I was running, preparing to run for this race, the first thing I did was took a poll and asked the community, what is it that you want to see? What do you want your legislators, lawmakers to address? And over again, it was education, education, infrastructure, business, and housing. Those are the four things that people said these are the most important things to us.
Right.
And so we set out to make sure that we're devising a plan. So within that plan, real quick, and I'll turn the mic over, is that every elected official within the 29th district we will sit down at the table and devise a plan, and then have a quarterly and meeting, and then a biannual. We will address where we stand in our progress, and that's the city council members, the school board members, the HCC boards, the state representatives, your state senators, whatever the case. We're all going to sit at the table and say, what is it that the schools need? Right. What do we need for infrastructure? Because what happens in this world that we live in, this city that we live in, this county that we live in, there's only a finite amount of money. And so we have to understand we can't be fighting one another because we're fighting over the same scraps. Right. And so when it comes to our community, and so you got the South versus the North, you got the East versus, you got the Latinos versus the Blacks. Even though we keep talking about this Black-Brown coalition, it still boils down to when there's only one piece of pizza left on the table, who gonna get it? And ain't nobody sitting up there talking about, okay, we're gonna divide it up.
That
ain't how it goes. And we the only people who believe that it's gonna be divided up because we hope that people will finally start to work with us.
Right.
But at the end of the day, they're not. And so we have to devise a plan. And so when I get to Washington, D.C., and while all politics, I'm going to be a good Democrat. Yes, I'm going to fight for women's reproductive rights. Yes, I'm going to fight for voting rights. Yes, I'm going to fight for LGBT. Yes, I'm going to fight for immigration. I'm going to fight for, those are national issues that everybody's going to fight for as a Democrat.
Right.
You rarely going to find a Democrat, because it always kills me when everybody says, I'm going to be a fighter for Medicaid and Medicare. Everybody will. Everybody will. That's just what you do. But you ain't going to be able to get it until we get the Republicans out of place. Right. But all politics are local, period. Although I'm going to fight all this in Washington, D.C., still I got to bring resources back to this district. And I want to make sure that when I get there, that whoever is there in the 18th, that he and I will be working together, and all the city council members, the state senators, the state representatives, that we will work in concert towards a goal, not you got your job, now we all gonna have our individual jobs, but we know we're working towards something. And now we go back to the community, because I heard you guys talk about we gotta hold elected officials accountable. How? Because while you may have your own individual thought and ideas and your own missions, you know, then you're going to be mad if they don't get to them fast enough. And wow, we need to get rid of them. But when we talk about an overall goal for the entire community, then we all have to work together. When I look at other communities, and I hate doing this, believe me, I hate doing this. I hate talking about other communities. We got to be real about what's in ours. But what happens is you understand in your family when you don't have enough money and you trying to figure it out, and you can't buy all the kids everything they want.
No way.
And so you got to figure out, how do I make this dollar stretch? So we're going to sit at the table and we're going to make sure, baby, Daddy didn't have as great a year as he did last year, and so I ain't gonna be able to buy you what, you know, but we gonna, son, and so we're sitting at, so I don't, nobody has no, because I can't just give to my daughter. Give her to carve her dreams, and then give my son a rockin' wooden, you know. Come on, you can't do that, right? So you got to figure it out. And I think that's the same thing with our community, because we as community activists and leaders, the whole goal is for the betterment of the community. Now, why in the world are activists fighting against one another for the betterment of the community? And that's the thing that we got to stop doing. Because once we create our goal, plans, and agenda, now we all at the table going, all right, this week is my week. Next week is your week. Next week is your, and we're all working together towards those weeks, because now I'm pouring into him, he's pouring into her, she's pouring into you, you're pouring, and now you see how it goes? We haven't devised that since the Civil Rights Movement in 1965, because as soon as we passed the Civil Rights Act of 1965, it was kind of like, aha, we made it. We ain't got to ride in the back of the bus, we can vote, we can live wherever we want to live, they done desegregated us, aha. Uh-oh. But then we didn't see the next stage. Oh, because those that had went. Those that couldn't stayed. And now we see there's a myriad of new problems. But yet those that had still went out there. I always make this joke, and I hope people, they ain't got to vote for me because that's in the other side of town. But I always make the joke about the 8th Ward. I say, do you know where the 8th Ward is? And people say, no, I ain't never heard of 8th Ward. I said, it's a bunch of 5th Ward Negroes and a bunch of 3rd Ward Negroes moved out to Southwest Houston and made the 8th Ward. And they took that same mentality out there, but they forgot. They forgot. Because when we could move, we did. And now I'm to the point where I'm saying, because we're getting tired of gentrification, we're getting tired of them taking our land, but how do we stop it? And the only way you're going to stop it is us all working together and saying, you ain't got to move out to move up. We can rebuild our own communities. The same way our community was healthy pre-1965, it's the same way our communities can be healthy in 2026. Republicans want us to go back in time. They want us to go back to the back of the bus. They want us to be second-class citizens. But the only way we're going to stop that is that all activism, all elected officials have to sit at the table and say, here is what our goal is. Because I will say this, even with you guys being afraid, I'm not afraid, but being upset about some of these elected officials, so am I. Because they have their own agenda. But yet they come in our community and say, we're fighting for the black community, we're fighting for the black community. And you go, I ain't seen you fight for the black community. You're over here supporting somebody who ain't even from our community. So how are you helping them? Don't get me wrong, anybody can support who they want. But don't speak with a forked tongue. If you're going to help the community by making sure that we're putting people in front of us that have the understanding of us. Because far too often people want to run for office, don't have the empathy.
Right.
Because I think everybody should have empathy because you got to understand your people. You got to feel what your people feel.
Yeah.
I keep talking, so I'm going to turn that mic back
Right.
over. But I appreciate you letting me go on and on.
Okay.
They don't let me talk on no campaign trail because they always say, you got 30 seconds to tell us your whole life story. And we're going to make a decision or we're going to vote for you in 30 seconds.
In 30 seconds. So I can't do it in 30 seconds now.
Thank you.
Well, will there be one?
Well, Mr. Williams, go ahead and tell us what you're all about, Mr. Williams.
I do a lot, as Representative Jarvis has said.
Okay.
I am the originator of gospel soul music worldwide. I'm an actor.
Okay.
I am a producer, director,
Okay.
humanitarian,
Okay.
CEO. I'm a cultural ambassador.
Okay.
I'm sworn in Detroit.
Okay.
Dealing with the International Institute of Detroit, dealing with 118 countries.
Oh, okay.
So I deal with a lot of
That's
different
amazing.
backgrounds and cultures and races of people. So I'm just not in the entertainment industry and the movie industry, but also in politics and community leaders and all that kind of stuff. So that's a little bit about my background. I'm 30 years old. And my goal and what I've tried to do is not just entertain.
Right.
And be on the movie screens and be on tours, but what I try to do is also give back to communities,
All right. That's
help build communities, give back money to less fortunate and people that are without, the needless, the homeless, the poor, and also speak on certain situations that are going on in our own communities.
right.
To piggyback on what he said, a lot of times we have a lot of people in position in offices that don't do anything for our communities, but do stuff for other communities because the money. And a lot of times it's not all about the money. It's about what you can do to impact and change lives. And I think that's what we're all about that's sitting here in this room is about the impact.
Right.
Because your legacy is what people remember you by and how you make them feel and what you do for them.
Right.
Not the money that you raise and go buy a Maserati and 10 different houses and lands and properties, but what do you do with what God has given you and the gifts that God has given you to make a change in somebody else's life? And so I think that's what I've been trying to do, not trying to, but have done in my life since I've been a kid.
Right.
That's been my heart. That's been my desire is to uplift and to change and to make a difference with what I've done in my career. So.
That's wonderful. So can you tell us, since we're celebrating Black History, can you tell us who your favorite Black History hero is? You got to have one.
Aretha Franklin.
Okay. Tell us a little bit about her.
Well, I mean, Aretha Franklin, well, I'll say this. Before becoming and recognized globally as the originator of gospel soul music, Aretha was somebody that I looked up to because Aretha could do anything.
Okay.
Aretha could sing anything.
Yes.
She could cross anything. I mean, the woman was just amazing. And so I patterned my career as far as versatility is concerned, music-wise.
Okay.
Looking at her.
She's a true legend.
Oh yeah, most definitely. I can truly say that I have done almost every genre you can possibly think of, and can sing it, can write it, and can move with it without any problem.
All right, I love that. Okay, I didn't get the chance to ask you, Mr. Jarvis. Can you tell us who your favorite hero?
Carter G. Woodson, the founder of Black History Week and then month.
Okay, wonderful.
Not as well as being my fraternal brother of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated. Is certainly the idea of what was so important about Black history, and people lose sight of why Black history is even important today.
Right.
Why we need Black history? Because everyone has discounted contributions that Black people have made to this country.
Right.
As a kid growing up, I absolutely hated Black History Month because the only thing they taught when I was in school was about slavery.
It's about slavery.
It was the only thing that Black people had done, or that was the only time we were in the history books.
Right, that's right.
They threw in Martin Luther King.
They don't teach it at the schools anymore, right? About Black history.
No, that's
they do it in pockets.
Okay,
they do it in pockets.
Okay.
I just want to piggyback on what Mr. Johnson said. Carter G. Woodson.
Right.
I found out a little bit more information about him over the weekend.
Okay.
And we do not laud him as the way we should.
Right. Okay.
Because, number one, he was an educator. Mm-hmm. Matter of fact, I didn't realize until I saw a short documentary on him at HMAC that he taught in the Philippines for many years.
Right, okay.
Right. And he strategically placed Black History Day and then week.
Right.
Right?
Right.
So that all folks could feel good about it. Right? Between Frederick Douglass, who really is my hero.
Okay.
One of them.
Okay.
And George Lincoln, Abraham Lincoln.
Okay.
In February. So
Okay.
he strategically placed that in between that time period. So not only was he an educator,
Right.
And had traveled,
Right.
the world,
Travel abroad,
but
yeah.
never got married. Never got married. But he was a strategist, and Black history. So we started out with just a day. So
Right.
he said, okay. Then I'm just paraphrasing. Then he went to a week.
Right.
It was 26 years later.
Right.
That I think it was in 1976 under Lyndon Johnson. I think I may be wrong on the date, the year,
Right.
but or the president or both. But that's when it became Black History Month. 26 years
Later.
after Carter G. Woodson had passed. Now that's what you're talking about, legend and legacy.
That's the legacy.
Now that's legacy right there, because we're celebrating and talking about it and all of that.
Right.
And although when we talk about Black history, we want to talk about, I would say, the safe people.
Yes.
Like your George Washington Carver, kudos to him, because he was a wonderful
He was.
inventor.
Right.
Well, not just a peanut. That his whole story is a tragedy. He was castrated because
Right.
he was living in a home, and the guy did not want him to even have anything to do with his Caucasian daughter. So he castrated him.
He sure
I did
did.
not know that. And they say if you ever listen to any auditory
Right.
of George Washington Carver, he spoke in a high pitch.
And
I did not know that.
Yes.
But see, did you? Yeah. So these are things that we don't. But George Washington Carver, we talk about Frederick Douglass, of course, but there are so many others, and that's why I say we have to integrate it into our conversations.
Yes, got to.
Just like you talked about the wards, the economic wards. We still refer to them as ward because that's part of our history. But they were strategically placed in the wards. Black folk in the wards. Go to the Fourth Ward Conservatory.
Yes.
It tells the story. It's a beautiful place to visit. Years ago we were trying to protect the bricks, right? And so we protected them, or wanted them to be protected. And shout out to Farrell Phelps, who did a project about the bricks and did a photographic book about that. But our ancestors laid those bricks because they would not come into that community and pave the streets. And in that community, because we're talking about gentrification and cities, we were sort of put in the Fifth Ward and the First Ward and the Second Ward and the Fourth Ward and the Third Ward. But a lot of times, and if this was even in Piney Point, the bus routes would go around our communities.
Right.
And things like that. So we need to know that. And there's a saying, and no one black penned it, we just repeated it. It says, if we do not remember our past, we're destined to repeat it. Just like you said, folks want to go back. They want to go back to that time. And knowing, and this is true, it's history, it's documented, America is becoming black and brown. That you can't stop it. I don't know. I don't care how many abortion laws you pass. It's just a choo-choo train that's just not going to stop. The
momentum keep on going.
Is there. So what better way? That's the same way happened in apartheid in South Africa. I was there 2 years ago. Same thing happened there. They realized, look, it's more them than us. So now we're going to have to strategize and make sure that they can outvote us, because we can outvote you.
If
In
they would do it.
It's a done deal. But if you're going to, gerrymander, which that's been around for years, and change the districts and do all of that. So that's why our voice, and I appreciate your passion, our voice and our vote is so important. Because if we don't take a hold of it real quick, it's going to take another generation to change it. Because I worry about my grandbabies.
Right.
And Jesse Jackson, just pay homage to him, a great civil
to
rights
his family.
leader.
We pray for his family.
Yes, and him and his family and the things that he did. But I just hate that we're in America and he died in an America where we're just going back to where we were. Because like you said, we don't have a plan. And that would have been my question before I went on my rampage.
Okay.
To you, because guess what? Other folks, they have a plan. It's called what? Project what?
2025.
So they have a plan. And guess what? It's from my assessment, since January 2 years ago,
over 80% of it
that plan is checked off. So my question, if I am allowed to ask, is
Well, we're asking me. Let Rodney tell us who.
Oh, okay.
Come on, Rodney.
Go.
Who's your
Oh,
hero?
the
Who's
hero.
your,
Okay,
who's your
I'm
black
sorry.
hero? Come on, you got to tell us who yours
in
is.
Black history,
Hero
a
is.
hero would be Bayard Rustin. And
Oh, yes.
He was like the brains
Architect.
and the machine
Okay,
behind
yes,
the March
okay.
on Washington.
yes, he was.
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
I love it. Okay,
Yeah,
Sandra.
I'm
for
glad
sure.
you said it. Oh no, I'm glad you said that.
I mean, I'm glad he said it.
Because I was going over some trivia the other day that I was
Right.
going to use on the crawl, and
Right.
they said who was the architect of the March on Washington.
That's
And then
right.
of course the
Everybody said
answer was
MLK.
MLK,
Yeah.
and I said,
MLK.
well, what about the other gentleman?
Yeah, the other
Bayard
gentleman.
But
Yeah.
anyway, yeah,
That's right. That's knowledge.
That's
Did
why
you
it's
know that?
important to know our history and just
Knowing the
don't,
Black history.
just like we tell folks, you just don't take the Bible and just wait till 11 o'clock hour.
Right.
You have to study to show yourself approved.
You
So
got
we
to.
have to study
Right.
and know our
History.
history.
Right.
Because
Got to.
we have a rich history. And the last thing I'm going to say, and then I'm going to turn it back over to these
No, you're
gentlemen
going to
and
ask
you.
You're going to ask Jobs a question. Go ahead and ask him a question.
Well, I'm going to say this real quick.
Okay.
Black history did not, and I have to tell people that it did not start
Right.
in slavery or after slavery.
Right.
It started 1,000 years before that.
Before
and
that.
even if you come through if you're from the Caribbean, I have to tell my
Haitians,
Dominican and Espanola. You got the Dominicans on one side and Haitians on that side, but
Right.
we won't talk about that issue.
Right.
But we have to know that is how the
Right.
slave ships, and they landed. They had sugarcane plantations.
Right.
So you may not know about American slavery,
Right.
but don't discount the fact that your ancestors
Right.
were part of the slave
Right.
trade.
Right.
So my question to you
Right.
is this unity, this coming together of minds, this divergence of different
Right.
organizations, whether it be environmental, the business sector,
Right.
or whatever. Do you have a specific plan to do that? I know you say we're going to get together and talk, but yeah.
No,
Okay.
no.
Okay.
Right.
I would be out of line if I had specific plan to
okay.
to do that for everybody. The idea is
It's
to
coming
assemble
together, right.
everybody
So your hope
with
is
the
to assemble.
mindset that here is what we're going to do. Now, I will give I hope to build the foundation
Okay.
that simply says, let's build on this. Now, here's the foundation. The foundation is that we're going to sit in a room and devise a plan that will incorporate all of us.
Yes.
Now, again, we can't fix the entire black community all at one time.
No.
As a city council member,
Right.
I came in and give you a real quick story. And city council member, we always talk about our community gets last. We get the last. We don't get this. We don't get that. I started learning early on what the problem is. When we went to single member districts, McGowan was the city council member. Well, Michael Yarbrough ran against McGowan. And when he got there, the city says, what do you want to do about the CIP?
Okay.
And because he put this, you can put your own in. And so Michael put his own in. He says, yeah, I'm put my own in. So then Michael did his term, and then Carol Galloway came in, and then she came in, and she says, what do you want to do about the CIP?
Right.
He had his, now you can put your own.
Right.
Yeah, I'm going to change and put my own. And so then I ended up running, and they said, well, what do you want to do about your CIP? I said, leave a CIP in. Well, you can put your own in. Nope, leave hers in. Because I learned, because I used to work for a council member, I learned that the CIP document is a 6-year living document. It don't, and if every time you throw that other one out, it's the clock starts over.
Right,
and so now we got to start over. And so now we got to start over. And so this is why we started realizing. So I said, no, leave it in. Because when the house is on fire, I don't care who brings the water. I don't care who gets credit. I just simply want my community to be better.
Right,
and the problem we always get into is who gets credit. Who gonna get credit for this and who gonna get credit? I don't care who gets credit. I simply want it done. I want the roads done. I want the parks better. I want the libraries better. You know, this is what's really about. And so this is why I said we're going to continue to work with, you know, we're going to make that CIP. Then you add my CIP on top of that CIP. Now, we didn't double the CIP, and District B had as largest CIP it's ever had in the history of the city of Houston. You got to have an understanding of where you're going with this, because it's a plan to get to the promised land. But you ain't going to just simply jump in and say, we're going to go. And we're going to figure it out along the way. So again, the idea is we got to sit everybody at the table. We got to start with our nonprofits. We got to start with the nonprofits. Yes. We got to start with the churches. Yes. Because and why the churches are so very important is because let me just say this real quick. I keep saying I'm going to say everything real quick.
Okay, say it right quick. Time is up, so go ahead and say it real quick.
All right.
Okay.
I can or I can't?
Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So when you look at our black churches, because it has to start with them, because where's our largest bank? Where's our largest bank in the city? Yeah, it's a black church. And so they go and deposit into other banks. But can you imagine that if every black church said, we're going to all come together and we're going to put all of our money into one bank. Now, you're going to have your own different accounts, but we're collectively going to come together and say, we're going to put all this money. Do you know how much money the black church in Houston collects weekly? Yeah, it's a lot. And so if we went to the bank and said, listen, we're going to put all our money in this, because we know you're going to then go to the market with our money, and you're going to make 20, 30% on our money. But now here's what we're going to do. But in return, what we're going to need is for you to start making available to our parishioners, to our congregation, bank, business loans and home loans, the two things that we can't get these days. And so this is why we have to start identifying what our real problem is. Not all this other stuff. We got a lot of problems, don't get me wrong, but we got to really identify what the crux of the problem. And if the black church said, now we ain't trying to give Pookie and Ray Ray no, I'm going to go get me some free money. Now, this ain't no government money. You can't get that. We're talking about it's going to be vetted by the church. And so the church then's going to have all these programs that say they've been vetted. They've got the right, because how many times do we go, I got multiple houses, I'm sorry, and I've been to the bank, and I tried to get some of my houses refinanced, and they looked at me and they was like, well, I said, man, I got so much equity in this house. It's like, I was like an act of Congress. Long story short, my point is, when we start using our leverage, then we gonna change things. Because we got the leverage. We keep talking about all this black power and black economic power we have, but we don't use it. And when we start using it, now we're going to, and I know this is hard. Believe me, this is not an easy ask. It's not an easy task. But it's an idea that we have to at least start talking about, because if everybody goes to, and we say to that bank, I don't care what bank it is, this is what we're gonna need. What bank is going to turn down that kind of money? None. You see what I'm saying? Now we're using our power, and now we get to tell you, and now from there we're going to start using the power with everybody else. Because we got to start going to these corporations that don't give us the money that we give to them. And so we're going to be like, oh, we're going to need a little bit more money for this environmental justice. Oh, we're going to need a little bit more money for this housing project. Oh, we're going to need a little bit more money for our HBCUs. Oh, we're going to need... Oh, we can't give. Okay, well, we're going to show you better than we're going to tell you. So we're going to take all these dollars, because we've already learned to organize. That's why nobody else fools and plays with other communities, because they have the power of the buying. We will still go out and buy dumb stuff, even though we know that dumb company just did some dumb stuff to us. Because we got to have what we need in order to impress each other. Like, I'm tired of impressing my brothers and sisters. So that's what it's all about.
Thank you so much. That's a beautiful message, and I'm going to let my host close this out, and we just want to say thank you guys for coming. We appreciate you for coming. All the knowledge, Dr. Williams, and thank you for coming and sharing all of your knowledge, and hope you guys can come back on. But Dr. Scott, you want to close this out because our time is near, so we'll close this out,
right.
okay? And we have all this saying we're going to do in the end, but I'm going to let her speak both of that.
I want to,
Again.
is there a platform or somewhere if anyone wants to get in touch with this young man?
Yeah, tell us how to get in contact with you. Then, Jarvis, you can tell us how to get in contact with you as well.
Please.
Go ahead.
Just
Dr. Williams, tell us how to get in contact with you if they want to contact you for something.
Find me on Facebook.
Okay.
William Campbell. You can follow my Instagram at the King of Gospel Soul.
Okay, you need to say that again because we wasn't able to hear you.
You can follow Instagram at the King of Gospel Soul. You can follow me on Facebook at William Campbell. If you want to book me, you can email the King of Gospel Soul mgmt@gmail.
All righty.
thank you.
Didn't you just go into a gospel award just last week?
I just won some awards.
That's what I'm saying. You need to tell folk the award you just
Well, y'all
won.
been talking about. I ain't had time to say nothing. So I mean, they ain't asked me no questions, so I'm just been sitting here.
But we don't know.
Well,
Go
you
ahead.
didn't ask either. That's what I came over here for.
We
I
don't
came
know
from
to
far.
ask. We don't
So
know
I
to
mean, I've done a lot. I've just won a lot of awards. I just got honored with the state flag of Texas.
Okay.
For originating gospel soul music and my global impact
Okay.
on music and culture.
Okay.
I just won the Soul Gospel Artist of the Year award
Okay.
from the State of Texas Music and Community Awards.
Okay.
I just got a Living Legend award out of Detroit.
Okay.
So I mean, I have so many different accolades
Okay. That's
that I have
amazing.
received from not just U.S. Congress, House of Representatives, but
Right.
presidents and White House as well for
Okay.
my impact and community, endeavors.
All right.
Well, we'll have to have you back if you'll come back with us. Don't be mad at us. If you're not mad and want to come back,
Right.
we'll definitely have you back, and we
Okay.
can discuss some more
Jarvis
things.
know
Oh, Jarvis,
Come on.
let him tell us how you can reach him.
Go to JarvisJohnsonForUs.com. JarvisJohnsonForUs.com. We certainly need
No, you
about
was
it.
talking, so I didn't hear that. Say it again. I didn't hear it.
JarvisJohnsonForUs.com.
Okay. All right.
And want to make sure everybody know early voting is now through the 27th, and election day is on March 3rd. So please get out and vote. Voting is looking good, but we can't leave nothing to chance.
Okay, Dr. Scott.
No, come on.
Okay, are
I'll
we
say
ready?
it. Yes.
Okay. Radiodabang love you. Save Communities love you.
I love you.
I love you too.
Oh, we love you too.
All right. It ain't nothing you can do about it. Hey.
Nothing you can do
Have
about
a
it.
wonderful,
Have a great
blessed
day.
day. Tell somebody you love them and smile.
All right.
You never know what people are going through. Thank you so much. We'll see you same time, same place next week. And bye-bye. All righty. Bye-bye.